All right, Rick Spielman, Tyler Sullivan here to break down what we saw out of the Dallas Cowboys specifically. As we're sizing up these teams, and specifically the Eagles, they're a perfect 7-0 on the season. I'll ask it this way, Tyler Sullivan, are the Cowboys the next closest competition, not just in that division, but in that conference?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, the only other teams that you're really looking at are maybe the Green Bay Packers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then you're talking about the Rams and the 49ers. I would say the 49ers may be the closest that can come close outside of maybe, I don't really know. So, you look at the rest of that conference and you go, it's really not that impressive. And so, yeah, of course, the NFC East is turning into the NFC Beast. We all know the cliches. Even the Giants are competitive as well, too. The Cowboys, now that they have Dak Prescott back, it's bringing more stability. It's creating a higher ceiling to that passing game, as you see. 49 points today, and it's because Dak Prescott is efficient. 21 of 27, 250, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Overall, a very good day for the quarterback, and their defense is playing out of their minds. Obviously, Micah Parsons, as you were saying, was limited, but he's able to make an impact even when he's limited. From all three phases, the Dallas Cowboys can hurt you and sometimes even just give you a death blow. And so when you're thinking about Philadelphia, yeah, they can kind of do all those same things. It could just come down to, where is this game played? Is it being played in Dallas? Is it being played at Lincoln Financial? And because of that perfect record Philadelphia has, it looks like the #1 seed could be locked up in the next month or so, it feels like, if they keep this thing going. So that might be the difference maker here, but there's no question that the Dallas Cowboys have what it takes to go toe-to-toe with this team. They went close with them even when Cooper Rush was a quarterback.
Yeah, and I'll just follow up with the Cooper Rush Hallmark movie story ended, and you can see why, because there was some questions on should they stay with Cooper if he keeps winning or go with Dak. And you can see this is the second week Dak was on the field, looks much more comfortable. I mean, Pollard, how can that guy stay on the bench? I know that Jerry Jones talked about Zeke Elliott and the offense runs through him, but this kid is pretty special with the ball in his hand. And the Dallas defense and how well they're playing right now and how Dan Quinn has them going. The only question I have on the Dallas defense compared if they have to play the Philadelphia Eagles or when they play the Philadelphia Eagles is, can they improve their run defense? Now, they traded for Hankins. That should help solidify the middle because he's a two-gap nose tackle that's very good against the run. But that's the only question I'd like to see answered.
Yeah, that run game, and specifically that run game predicated by the quarterback, Justin Fields, and Jalen Hurts doing a lot of similar things to extend plays. And we saw Fields give that defense some issues in that vein here on Sunday. We went big picture there, but let's really narrow it in because you touched on something, Rick, and what the quarterback position has offered here over the last 8 quarters. Dak didn't necessarily come out of the gate and blow anyone's hair back last week, but looked really good in this one, made some tight throws into tight windows. How'd you assess his play specifically here on Sunday? And obviously, no quarterback controversy, but Dak moving back in the right direction.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go with his Hallmark movie story because I think it'll be a lot more successful. But you've got to look at how much time he missed in that 4 or 5 week period, ever how long he was gone. He came back last week, was a little rusty, and regardless of if you're a veteran, if you've been in the Pro Bowl, you still have to go out there and play. And this week, after a full week of practice, after a game under his belt, he looked night and day difference. He was very efficient. He made the plays. He made some chunk plays down the field. He utilized all his weapons on offense. And so now I think you're going to just see him continue to progress and move forward and even be better in future games coming up.
Yeah, I think one of the more encouraging things, and like you were saying, is that he was using every skill set he has available. I mean, we're talking about how precision he was as a passer, but he also ran 5 times for 34 yards and a touchdown. He's able to do those types of things. I don't know if he's necessarily looked at in the same vein as like a Jalen Hurts or a Josh Allen in terms of mobility, but he can run the football and he can make plays with his feet when he's called upon. And so that to me is just as encouraging as what we've seen in the passing game. He is someone who creates a higher ceiling for this offense. And once they get rolling with Tony Pollard or Ezekiel Elliott in the running game, and you can start working off play action and really free things up for Dalton Schultz and CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup and those guys in the pass-catching game, that's only going to make Dak Prescott even more dangerous. So when you look at his play today, yeah, it's encouraging to see him be precise, but also going forward, I only think it's going to get better now that he's coming back from this injury. All
right, thank you, guys. As we take a look now at the fantasy performers coming out of this one, great work out of Tyler Sullivan and Rick Spielman. Dak went for 29 points here, 250, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Justin Fields, meanwhile, 30 fantasy points, another 60 yards on the ground. That player prop is getting higher and higher by the week as Justin Fields looks to get it done with his arm, but with his feet as well. He's very dangerous, and not dangerous enough in this one as the Cowboys win it 49-29. If you had Tony Pollard, good on you.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.